Hello, Aries. How are we doing? Are you guys feeling overwhelmed? In isolation a little bit? I feel like a lot of Aries around me at this time, personally. I feel like they're receiving a lot of bad news. I feel like a lot of Aries right now they're having a lot of family members go through surgeries, a lot of family members just going through difficult times, and it's kind of taking a toll on them. I feel like a lot of people around them are giving them bad information. I'm going to pull that even though I wasn't ready to pull yet. Happened to Pisces too. I guess you guys are like nervous. But yeah, I feel like a lot of you guys are really just kind of down. I feel like things around home are starting to really either escalate to where they've been going for a while and starting to make a little bit more sense. Or I think for some of us, things at home are just starting to, people that we weren't close with were starting to be, but under unfortunate circumstances, things of that nature. And I think we're starting to feel a lot of guilt and a lot of shame. But I think there's a lot of good things going too. I think we were having a lot of great things happening for us career-wise last month. I think this month we still have those things playing out. I think at home things are starting to get a little better. I think our relationships and our family is starting to take a little bit too much of us, and we're starting to isolate. But that's my opinion, just looking outward before that. But we'll start pulling some cards, and then we'll see how we're going to do for the rest of the month. But again, sorry, this is Tarot, and this will be for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising. I'll do these readings every month, and they'll be up until from a week before till the 1st of every month. So this is your December 2018 reading. I also think you guys are really uncomfortable right now because with when Mercury's retrograde, we're not really supposed to make decisions. And I think you guys are so impulsive that when people are like, you have to wait, you're like, wait. It makes you even crazier. And I only slightly understand as a Cancer because we're also cardinal, but I'm not as impulsive as you guys. But I can say it a little bit. So I get an eighth of what you're going through, but only an eighth. The rest of me wants to just lay inside. Shuffle it one more time, and we'll cut the deck and we'll do it again. So, the first thing I want to say at home is I feel like things are going a lot better than they've went. I think that we're at a place of peace with the sun. I think that we had a long, hard journey. I think whoever we were living with we had our ups and downs with. I think we've had some issues. I think things were uncomfortable. There were disagreements, but I think we're coming to a place of being a little bit more comfortable. I think maybe we've had the conversations we needed to, and now things we really understand as housemates what we need to do for each other. I see a lot of things being more comfortable. I feel like it's more playful at home. It's happier. You could be living with a Leo, but this is a general read, so it's not necessary. I also see there could be something. I feel like you could be sneaking away from home. There could be another part of that. And I see that because with the Sun card, with the Sun card, the children are kind of running out of the garden like by themselves, and these kids probably shouldn't be playing all by themselves. So I feel like there's a little bit of sneakiness that happens. And I also say that because I always think of this as like a cheating, juggling. It could be two jabs, things like that at the same time. I see the two of coins, and he's juggling these two things, these two places. I feel like these two material, they're things that are real in the life that we're in, and I feel like for this, you're either sneaking away from home to also live somewhere else, or right now, you're kind of living in two homes. So perhaps you're dating someone, and maybe you're half staying at their house, half at yours. This could also be, if you had like two houses, like two parents, and you were still living between them, that could be it. Or if you went home sometimes, but you also lived in an apartment, something of like juggling two homes. But I feel like there's going to be a change in one of them with the Death card. And perhaps this change is that you have to be settled in one place. And I think for a long time, because with this Death card, death equates down to 13, 1 plus 3. It goes down to 4, which is about stability. So this is all about something changing, death of a way that didn't work, to get to a point of stability. So I feel like perhaps living in two places has been something that was uncomfortable to you and didn't feel stable. And now you're starting to find your stability within it. And I feel like intuitively, with the Two of Swords, you know in your head what it is that's the right thing to do. You know in your heart what it is that's the right thing to do. And right now you're trying to convince yourself that those two things are different, when in actuality they are both the same. So you need to make a choice that is both logically and intuitively, morally heartfelt, of something that you would like to do, something that would make you happy. But I think you're overthinking it right now. So I think there's something right now that you're trying to figure out, like the overall situation of home is the Eight of Cups, which is about moving on. So I feel like you need to move on from some aspect of your life. Maybe it's living in two places, maybe it's being unstable, maybe it's, relying on someone at home, like with your parents. And I think you need to move on from a way that's no longer serving you, and you know what it is, but right now you're trying to tell yourself otherwise. But I feel like mid through this month, you're going to find your way. It's just, it might take a little bit of pain. With Death card, I don't think that it's as traumatic as the Tower. However, it's something that's still a breakthrough moment. It still changes the foundations of where you were at. So it will still cause a lot of change. As far as your love life, I feel like you haven't been in control. I feel like you've been dealing with someone who's been a little bit more controlling than you, because you're normally the Emperor, but as soon as I pulled this, I was thinking, this isn't you. So I feel that someone has had control over you for a long time. And I feel like Page of Coins. I feel like you want to go after something anew, from a new light, from a new perspective. I feel like you want to come at it with like newfound love towards something, newfound curiosity. I feel like you're a little cautious, because I feel like the Page of Coins is more cautious than others, because you're cautious of the fact that someone can be so ruling over you. You feel very much like a child with this person, like they want to control things that you're doing. I don't feel like you're at a point that you kind of want that anymore. I feel like you want to be more of a Page of Wands, someone who's more oriented towards achieving goals, towards achieving his own desires. I feel like you want to be at a place more of stability with yourself, so that you can come back at it with that stable foundation, so that you can also be a leader in this. And I feel like you're kind of wanting to walk away from what's going on with the Six of Swords. I feel like you want to run away. I feel like love this month might not be the best for you, because I feel like you felt very held down by the people around you, and I feel like it's overwhelming and you want to focus on you. And I feel like to do that you might have to actually not talk to people. You might have to be by yourself. But I think you guys are good at that. I mean, you are the first house, you've ruled the self. So I think it's okay for you guys to do that. I don't think that people are going to understand it at this time, but I think the overall card for here is the Queen of Swords. So I think you have to be straightforward, clear cut, logical. I think you've dealt with a lot of pain from this person before. I don't think you want to deal with it any longer. And I think now you've learned enough to get through this stage, and this stage might be cutting them out, and that might not have been something that you were used to doing. But I think this time around in love, it could just be cutting someone out specifically, or cutting everyone out so that you could be alone and focus on yourself. But I think that's the theme of love right now for Aries. I also see for work, I see the Hermit, and I see the Five of Cups. These are the first two cards. So I feel like perhaps you have spent a lot of time in isolation, a lot of time figuring yourself out. And I feel like you're still focusing on some things that didn't go your way. I feel like career-wise, you thought you would be at a different point by now that you're not at. I think you're focusing on the bad, not on what you have achieved so far. But I think that there's a lot of things that are to be learned and to happen during this time. There's still a lot happening around you. I just think that you are in a negative mindset. Because I see the next two cards as that might be the deciding factor, honestly. I feel like this isolation, this pain, is driving you towards something greater, because I see the Empress. There's birth to something new. I see the Ten of Cups, which is happiness, an ending, fulfillment, peaceful energy, which is very different from the energy above it. So I feel like we're getting from a point where we felt so down about something and we were isolated for so long, but now we finally got the ideas and the excitement to really go after something and change it. And with the Chariot as the overall card, I feel like you're going to make a lot of changes this month towards where you want to be financially, where you want to be career-wise. I think you know what you want to do and you know what you need to do. You know who you need to reach out to. And I don't know why, but that's what I want to say. You know who you need to talk to. So make the calls and reach out, make the emails, do what you need to do, because everything is following you with perseverance. This Chariot card is cardinal energy. You are cardinal energy. So don't let that pass you up right now. If there's anything that I can tell you, I think you need to move on from something that isn't serving you for your living situation, and I think financially you need to go after what you know you have to do, but you've just been putting it off because you're scared. I think at home there is a lot of conflict. I feel like, not at home, with your family. I feel like there's problems with family around money. I want to say that there's something about arguments over a will, arguments over a trust fund, arguments over money of some sort. Perhaps someone selling a house and how much someone should make. I just feel like there's arguments about that within family. And I feel like it's somehow affecting you, or it's somehow affecting holidays around this season. Because a lot of times family just gets together during this time, and perhaps it's starting a problem, because I also see 5 of Wands, which is all about conflict. So it could be also inner conflict, that you are feeling conflicted over something that's happening within your family, over events that are happening to other people, and you feel like you need to take sides, or who you're expected to talk to, things of that nature. I feel like everything is going to be fast. I feel like this information with the 8 of Wands is going to come to you via phone, text messages, like social media, things of that nature. I think you're going to receive a lot of this information this month through text, through phone calls, through something, social media, through the phone. The phone is how you'll receive all of it. I feel like at the end of the month, we'll find ourselves at peace with some family members, but I see with the 9 of Coins, this is more like you're feeling more at peace. So I feel like you're going to feel more at peace with who's around you. So perhaps the people that you were actually having conflicts with, or the people that were being pushed away from these family gatherings, were actually more of a nuisance to you, and now you'll find yourself more at peace. And I feel like you'll feel more in control, at least in that aspect, because I feel like a lot of you start to be you're really hard on yourselves, especially around this time of year, because you guys are really wrapped around your ego, and family usually starts to really like pull us back to it, because they remind us of what we haven't done. Not all, but a lot of times. So I just feel like that you're going to feel more in control with the King of Coins, more in control of what's around you and what you can change. And I don't feel like you felt like that for a while, but I feel like that'll come around this time. And the bottom of the deck is Temperance. So I just feel like this month, one of your main focuses should be on trying to balance the energies out, balance what it is that you want to accomplish, balance alone time with time around others, and balance where it is that you're placing all of your energy, because sometimes spending too much time with people who are draining is really like harmful. So just be aware of everything that's going on, and just focus on you right now, because really I just think you've gotten wrapped up in too many people for too long. So I just want you to focus on that, try to balance that out, because you guys have a lot of good that you can give to the world, but not if you don't have any of yourself to give. So thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe if you would like to see more, and I will post next month's video a week prior to the 1st. Thank you very much again. I'll see you next month. Bye.